Hello guys, today in this live stream we will be building a very fun little project inside Node.js and Express. So basically this is related to authentication. So whenever we will be implementing passwordless authentication, where basically you just need to enter your email address at the time of authentication, and we will basically send a magic link or a magic code to your email address. So you need to verify it. So automatically this will be done in the inside the backend. So if I refresh this application, basically this is the application here. You guys, here you need to enter your email address. So this basically we will enter it, and we have this button out there which will say send magic link. So as you enter this email address, guys, automatically we will send an email to it, to your email address. You need to verify it. So now if I basically enter my email address, let's suppose I enter this email address, click on send magic link. So as I click this button, guys, you will see that a pop-up window will appear that magic link is sent to your email address. So now if I check my email address, you will see this magic link will be there, and we need to verify this. So basically this contains this hyperlink which is login. So as I press this button here, I will be redirected to my dashboard here. So here you will see welcome to the dashboard. So basically here we are don't require any sort of password. You don't need to write password for this. You just need to enter your email address, click on this button. It will send out an email address to your registered email address. Again, if I see another email address will be sent here, you will see that click the link to login. So you can customize this accordingly. You can basically, you have seen in many websites where we don't need to enter the password. We just need to enter the email address, and automatically this authenticates by itself. They sends out a email to you and you need to verify it. So basically we will be doing it inside Node.js Express, and for sending out the emails we are using Node Mailer, which is basically a Node.js dependency. So if you go to npm.js and just type Node Mailer, this is a very popular package which allows you to send out email addresses inside Node.js. So we will be using this package, guys, to basically implement this passwordless authentication, which will send out a magic link to your email address. So this email address needs to be present right here, guys. If you see, we have this array of users and we have these two registered email addresses. And in the production application, these email addresses will be stored inside the database. So now let's suppose I enter a very unique email address. This is not present inside my database. So you will see user not found. So you need to enter only that username which is already there. Now if I there, this username is present. And once again, if I click it, you will see that magic link sent to your email. So once again, basically you will open your email address. If you refresh it, this magic link will be returned. You will see that. Click the link to login. So if I click it, you will see welcome to the dashboard. So basically here inside the URL, you will see that, guys, we are having this email address, and also we are sending out this code here, dynamic code, and here we are just checking that code. So when the user clicks this link here, we are checking this code. If this code matches, then basically it's a correct link that we have sent. So that's why we are showing the message that welcome to the dashboard. So now if I change this code here to this one, you will see this will not be shown here. This message will not be shown. This code needs to match, and we will receive basically an error. Let me refresh it. So now we will be implementing this, guys, application authentication. All the source code I have given in the description of the video. I have written a complete blog post where I've given all the source code. So now let's get started by building this application. So the very first thing we will do, guys, basically, let me delete all this code and start from scratch. So you just need to basically make a empty Node.js project. So just make it npm init -y. So this will basically create a package.json file. And now we just need to install the packages, guys, which will be necessary for this application. So first of all, we need to install Express, which will be the web server. And then we also need to install UUID. Basically, this will generate random integers which will be sent to the code. And then we will install node mailer, that's all. So these are the three dependencies which are needed for this application. So simply install this by using this npm I command. I have already installed it. So now what I will do is that I will create index.js file inside the root directory. So right here guys, we will basically start a basic Express server. So we will require the Express dependency here. We will make a new app of Express, and basically we will start this application on port 5000. So after you start this application guys on port 5000, what we need to do is that basically we just need to require some more packages. We will basically require node mailer as well, so with the help of which we will send out the email addresses. So just write node mailer. So we need to require it. So after this guys, we also need the UUID package, so also require this UUID. So after you do this guys, we basically need to configure the transport of node mailer. So whenever you use node mailer, we just need to configure it. This contains a method which is create transport, and basically this takes an object. First it takes the service. So whichever service you are using, we are using the Gmail address from which we will be sending out these magic links. And then it takes the authentication object. So here guys, we will basically use the Gmail API for sending out the email addresses. So here type will be OAuth2, and here we need to provide the username. So this will basically the email address from which you will be sending out the email addresses. So this will be, let me choose this email address. And then guys, it takes the access token. So this basically, you will generate this access token by going to Google Auth Playground. And this is very easy. Just type Google Auth Playground. Just go to it and choose your Gmail API here. Just choose it right here. Gmail API. Let me just see. Gmail API. Yeah, you can see that Gmail API version 1, and you need to enter the scope here, which is the parent scope mail.com. Click on authorize API, and then it will ask for the permission. Simply grant the permissions guys, like this, allow. And now exchange authorization code for tokens. So this is basically your access token guys, if you see. So simply copy this access token. This will be valid for 1 hour. So after 1 hour, you need to update this, repeat the same process. So right here, simply paste this access token, that's all. So you don't need to copy this because this will be your own access token. And then guys, we will basically configure the users. This will be basically an array, but in real life, these users will be coming from the database. So we will have ID, we will have basically email addresses. So let me write this. And we will also have a third property guys, which will be magic code, which will be null by default. This will be one object. So if you repeat this, so just separate it by comma. So here ID will be 2. So email basically you can change here to magic code will again be null here, that's all. So after you do this guys, we also need to say app.use express JSON. And then guys, basically whenever we open this home route, we will load basically the file. We will say response.send file. So this file will be index.html present in the root directory. So we just need to make this file. right here. So inside this file, guys, we will basically have a simple input field where we will basically allow the user to enter the email address. So here, basically what we will do is that there will be a simple form here. I think form is not there. We just need a label for email. So here we will say enter email. So here the user will enter the email address. Sorry, label, yeah, label close. So enter input type email. And then basically, guys, whenever you click on this, sorry, we need to also provide an ID field. So that we can target in JavaScript, and also the name field. So here this should be required, and then we will basically have a button, guys. So this will be simply send magic link. So whenever you click this button, guys, so what should happen? So whenever you click this, we will basically call this function send magic link. So right here, guys, inside the JavaScript, we just need to define this function send magic link, and here we will simply say here this will be a async function, guys. So just have async here because we will use fetch API for doing this. We will extract the email address which the user writes. So document.getElement by ID email. We will extract the value like this email.value, and then we will simply make a fetch request. So await fetch. We will make it to the login route, and here we will basically provide the method here. So method here will be post, and here we need to provide the headers, guys. So headers will be simply inside single quotes content type application slash JSON, and then we also need to pass the email address, guys. So we will wrap this inside JSON stringify, and we will pass the email address that the user has entered. That's all. So after this, guys, we will basically display the result which is coming. So we will say response.text, and we will say alert result. That's all. So that's all, guys, that we need to do inside this index.html file. So basically, if you reload this application, what should happen? App will start on port 5000. If I go to the port, so here input field will be there, and if I try to enter the email address, nothing should happen because we haven't written that post request. So you will see that nothing cannot post slash login. We need to create that login post request. Go to index.js. So here we need to make this post request slash login. So here request response. So we will basically catch the email address that the user has submitted right here inside. This will basically a async function, guys. So async, just make this async. So right here, guys, we will basically extract the email address. We will say request.body, and then, guys, we will simply say we will basically check if the users.find. We will make the use find method, and here we will simply check the email property if the user email matches the past email address. That's all. So this will either return true or false. So here we will say if it returns false, then in that case we will simply return that user not found. So what it will do, guys, if I now refresh this application, if I entered a email address which is not present inside the array, so basically it will return this user not found because this email is not found inside this users array. So if I now pass an email address which is present, which is geekygautam1997 @gmail.com. So this email is present, so nothing will happen. So we need to write this condition. So if user is present, what we need to do? So after this, guys, we will basically make the magic code. So for making the magic code, we will call UUID version 4, and we will generate a simple substring method sub substring, and basically we will generate a number between 0 to 8. This will be a magic code, and then you will say user.magic code is equal to magic code. And then, guys, we will basically email the user. We will provide the mail options here. So we will be sending out the email address from this email address that we have configured. And then, guys, we just need to say to which email address we are sending the email. So to property will be email, whatever email, and the subject will be uh, magic link or login link, like this. This is our subject. And then basically for the HTML, we will use backtick symbol to write multiple lines of HTML code. So you can customize this template accordingly. So we will say click below to login. And basically we will have a simple href link. This link will redirect the user to this HTTP localhost 5000 dashboard question mark. So this is slightly complicated, so I will just write this. This is nothing but we are basically passing this magic code right inside the URL. So just change this port number to 5000. So basically we are encoding this email address, guys, using this method which is encode URI component. And also we are passing this code as well using this encode URI component. So this function basically encodes a string as a valid component of a uniform resource identifier. So it converts the string to a URL like this. So now we can simply send out this email address, guys. So for sending out this, we can use a try catch block. So because sometimes error can take place while you send the email address. So we can say try catch. If any sort of error take place, we can console log it. And also we can say error sending email. That's all. So inside this, guys, we will basically use await, and then it contains basically this transporter object. Sorry, transport. It contains a function, guys, which is send mail, and here we will pass. It sends out the email address, and here also you can pass the mail options as well. So we will pass the mail options, and then it basically also tell the user that magic link sent to your email. That's all. So now if you reload this application, guys, what will happen? If the user submits a email address which is valid, if I try to submit this email address which is valid here, click on send magic link. So now you will see that basically magic link sent to your email. So now I need to check inside my magic. You will see that it is received. So click here to login, and this is basically, you can see cannot get slash dashboard. So we need to basically implement this route as well, slash dashboard. So where we will be receiving this code and the email address, and here we basically need to check if that code is correct or not. So right here we will implement this code as well. So we will simply say we will implement this get request, which is app slash dashboard. So basically what we will say is that request response. So inside this route, guys, we will first of all extract the email and the code from the query request.query. So this will be extracting the email and the code. So after this, guys, what we will say, we will compare the user. If the user is present inside the array, again we'll use the same code. U dot email is equal to triple equal to email. And in the second scenario, we will also compare the code as well, guys. So we will simply say u dot magic code if it's or if it is equal to the code that we have got. So in this case, it either returns true or false. So basically, if it returns false, in that case we will simply return, or we can simply say response dot send your details are incorrect, like this, or your magic link is not correct. And then we can simply say user dot magic code. If it is correct, in that case we can initialize user magic code to null, and then we can simply say welcome to dashboard if it is correct. That's all. So now if you reload this application, guys, you will see your magic link is not correct. So now we need to implement this once again. If I say pass my email address, and if I click send magic link, it will take some time. It will send out this magic link. If I check, it is received right here. You will see welcome to the dashboard. So now if I basically change this magic code, let's suppose 89, you will see your magic link is not correct. So you have seen these basically this passwordless approach, guys, of authentication, where you don't need to enter the password, because in modern websites this authentication is very much popular. In some websites you will be able to receive code inside your mobile phone directly, and then you need to enter that code. I think we have seen these authentication in Amazon, Hotstar, all these popular websites, streaming websites. So I think it's a future. You should definitely implement this approach of authentication inside Node.js Express. So all the source code is given in the description of the video, and I will be seeing you in the next live stream.